One day, back in the Clash of Clans village, a young wizard named Mark was born. However, unlike the rest of the wizards in the village, this wizard was different from the others. It wasn't obvious to everyone yet, but they were soon to find out just what set him apart. But despite all of that, he grew up and was raised just like any other wizard. But then once all of the young wizards began to start training for battle, Mark felt a bit out of place. It all started that morning when Mark was walking over to the barracks to begin his training. And on the way there, he noticed two archers playing some shooting game where they were calling their shots and then hitting them, even though they should have been impossible. Mark couldn't believe what he was seeing and thought that this was the coolest thing that he'd ever seen in his life. And as he kept walking, he couldn't stop thinking about how on earth they were hitting those shots. But alas, once he got to the barracks, he stopped to listen to what his instructor had to say. The instructor began telling them that the secret to wizardry magic is to focus on one thing, and only one thing, and then channel that energy through your fingertips. He told them to start focusing on an element such as fire, ice, or electricity, as those are the easiest to summon. And no wizard had successfully summoned any other elements other than fire, ice, and electricity before. So most wizards ended up casting fireballs, and then a few of them shot out ice shards out of their fingertips, and then a few of the really crazy ones had electricity flying out of their fingers. Mark tried really hard, but was just completely unable to summon any of the three elements. He tried over and over again, but still nothing happened. The instructor came over to him and kept trying to teach him to summon something, but after trying for a few hours, the instructor finally gave up and told Mark that he was a lost cause. Then he and the other wizards got up and left. Mark was extremely upset and mad at the instructor, so he went down to the beach to cool off. And as he was sitting there, the master builder, who was just about to head back to his island since he was done gearing up an archer tower, saw him sitting by himself and went over to him. He could see that the young wizard was upset and he politely asked what was the matter. Mark then explained that he was the worst wizard ever and couldn't do any magic at all. Then after a short pause, through tears, he said, "I wish I could have just been born an archer." Then the master builder felt awful for the young wizard and told him to wait where he was. The young wizard didn't think much of it, but decided to wait anyways since he had nothing else to do. And a bit later that night, the master builder returned with something in his hand. He held a glowing turquoise bow that just radiated energy. The master builder handed him the bow and his eyes lit up. And when I say they lit up, I literally mean that they began to glow. Mark was super pumped to be given a bow, but he noticed that it didn't have any arrows to shoot. So he asked the master builder what he was going to shoot without any arrows. To this, the master builder looked at him and said, "Well, you're a wizard, aren't you? So use your magic." Then the master builder gathered his hammer and took his little towboat back to the village. And even though Mark had just spent the whole day not able to summon any magic at all, he decided to give it one last shot. So he went over to the trees where he could focus better, and then he started focusing extremely hard on what he wanted most. And to his surprise, a small ball of energy formed in his hand. Then without hesitating, he took that ball of energy and turned it into an arrow. He notched the arrow and then fired a random shot. The arrow made out of pure energy went straight through everything it hit, and it never stopped or slowed down. It went all the way around the world until it came full circle and came right back to him. He willed the arrow to stop, and then he looked down at his hands, not believing what he just did. Mark had become the first magical archer. The next day at training, Mark showed off his new powers in front of the other wizards and his instructor. Everyone was super impressed, and then the instructor came over to Mark and announced, "See, I knew you could do it. I taught you very well." Then he began bragging to everyone else that he was the one who taught him how to do that. But Mark didn't want to have any part of that crap, so he decided it would be best for him to leave. So he went to the only other place where his kind could go,